Vadimus. It's Latin. And it's Latin for, in English, where are we going? And that is probably the question that every human being on the face of the planet right now is asking themselves. We're all living through in real time with modern communications, a plague, a pandemic of a magnitude that this planet has never seen before. And the economic fallout from this event is going to be such a magnitude that it may even be as severe or may even dwarf what was experienced by those individuals who lived through the Great Depression of the 1930s. So if you're watching this video and in all honesty you look at the impact so far of COVID-19 on you personally, so when we talk about you personally, we're talking obviously health-wise, we're talking your physical health, your emotional health, and your mental health. We're talking financially, we're talking about your personal relationships. So if you have a significant other, you have children, you have co-workers, you have friends, you have extended family, the future, how you're going to pay your bills, how are you going to go and keep everyone safe. All of those things, all those important things are big question marks right now. And for the most part, we're just entering the point in the spread of this pandemic for a lot of countries where it's going to get a lot more severe and serious, and we're going to see a lot of death, a lot of casualties, and where do you go? What do you do? And those are all really important questions. And unfortunately, for all of you who are watching this video, there's a couple of things I can tell you. One is, look, I'm not the smartest guy on the face of the planet, and I can freely admit to that. And ironically, I used to have a friend by the name of Tony, and Tony was older than I was. And I said to him that one day that, hey, I'm not the brightest guy on the face of the planet. And he looked at me and said to me that the fact that I could freely admit to that put me way ahead of a lot of other people, which is kind of a nice compliment. So what this entire series is going to be based on is going and trying to find some common ground, some direction that perhaps you can take some insight or get some insight from and maybe help yourself. So I think what we're going to deal with in this episode is we're going to deal with one item, and that item is, and the old saying goes, if you have your health, you have everything. And right about now, that's probably great insight. So, if you have your health, in other words, you have your mobility, you have your mental faculties, emotionally you're pretty balanced, the most important thing you can do for yourself and for those that you love is go and keep yourself healthy. So in other words, look, physically, if you need to go and get a little more sleep, get a little more sleep. If you need to go and you've lost a little bit of weight because you've been worried, maybe eat a little more. If you could take off a couple of pounds, maybe it's time to go and adjust your diet. If you're emotionally not doing well, you know what? Take care of yourself. Maybe you want to talk with somebody. Talk with a good friend. Talk with your spouse. Talk with your children. Talk with a coworker. Talk with, someone if you have a spiritual leader. And that'll be a good way of helping you find some stability and some grounding. Mentally, we're all focused on what's happening. And the problem with having modern technology is that it's at your fingertips and we never ever turn it off for the most part. So maybe you want to watch less news. Maybe you want to go and turn off your smartphone. Maybe you want to go and turn off the internet. Maybe you just want to go and take a walk. Just to go and let your mind relax. And that right now, that's where I personally, if I had to give you some advice free of charge, that's what this is. That's what I would tell you. Because you got to understand something. You not being physically, emotionally, and mentally healthy doesn't help you, and it doesn't help those that depend on you, rely on you, and associate with you. So that's really important to understand here. Look, we're all stressed. And a lot of us are stressed because, yes, there is a physical threat of catching corona unknowingly. We're witnessing, unfortunately for a lot of people, their loved ones going through dealing with corona. And hopefully it's going to end out. It's going to end for the good. Unfortunately, for a number of people, it's not going to be that way. And to go in, as they say, put your head in the sand and just ignore reality isn't going to help you any. So it's important that, as of right now, number one priority for myself and for you should be your health. So let's concentrate on that. And then moving forward in the series, we can go and start concentrating and focusing on where do we go from here. Because there's a lot of variables out there that we don't know how they're going to play out. There are a lot of things that exist today that have to change. They have to change because they are not going to work for us dealing with another pandemic in the future or any other type of major global disaster. And so, we need to be prepared in a variety of different ways. So remember, you're not going through this alone. There are 7 billion people plus on the planet who are going through this event, this experience, all at the same time, in real time. So take care of yourself. And remember, Quo Vadimus, where are we going? And you can plan a future.